Hey, Barbara, how are you doing? It's
Good,
recording.
Lynn. How you doing?
Yeah. So anyway, we thought that we would introduce ourselves. We are the authors of Convergence, the Interconnection of Extraordinary Experiences. And we thought that we would start doing some videos about us and about the book and just different things in general. Barbara, do you want to introduce yourself?
We feel that, yes. And I also want to say it's really hard to connect, I think, with an audience and for you to connect with us just via our website, because there's not a personal touch like there is when you see us. So that's another reason we decided to do this. But yes, our book is out and here it is. Here's a picture of our book, Convergence, the Interconnection of Extraordinary Experiences. And it's for sale on Amazon, Kindle, Barnes and Nobles, their Book Nook, and the Book Depository. But we just wanted to introduce ourselves first. And I'm Barbara Mango. I have a PhD in metaphysical science, and I did my dissertation on near-death experiences. But the thing I really want to get across, and what Lynn and I are going to keep stressing throughout this whole blogging, is that we are first and foremost experiencers, and we're lifelong experiencers. And one of the main purposes of writing our book is to reach out to all of you and let you guys know that we hear you and we're compassionate to your experiences and we get it. And even though our book does have a lot of science in it to back up these experiences, to us, the experiences are just as important, or perhaps even more important than the science. And that's really who we are. And we'll be talking a lot about our experiences throughout these blogs. Really quickly, I had my first experience when I was 2 years old, and that was with the spirit guide. And so that became, from I was 2 and I continued to have different experiences, that became my norm, so I always viewed life through a different lens than most people. And I was a weird, strange little kid who thought about consciousness.
She still is.
And thanks, Lynn. So, yes, now I'm a weird adult, but I always grew up with a different lens of life. And, even today with a PhD, I still get these looks and like, you're nuts. And I'll mention I have a PhD in metaphysics, and I've actually had people turn around and run away from me. So it's a little hard to navigate life being different. But Lynn and I, when we wrote our book, we decided that we were going to share our experiences, and so be it, because we've gotten to the point in life where we're no longer afraid to talk about them. And we think it's really important. And we think it's really important to connect with you guys and everyone out there, and to know there's always a like-minded community, everywhere and for everyone. Lynn, how about you?
Yeah, I sort of what you call came out of the closet about my experiences pretty much only like 2 or 3 years ago. And before then, as being a lifelong experiencer, especially with out-of-body experiences, I had always had more like the spontaneous out-of-body experiences. And, I started, it's just something that I just kept to myself. And then when I started to even explore them more, especially starting to learn things, that all changed around 2006 when I came up on this movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? And all of a sudden that changed my paradigm. It's like, there's actually, something scientific and logical about this. And that's when I started to explore it more. And I started to look for people of like mind on different forums and different groups. But I was still very, very reluctant to actually talk about it, around family and friends. And then I ended up listening to podcasts, and I came up on a podcast by William Buhlman about out-of-body experiences. And that's pretty much where it completely shifted to the point where I knew that it's like, wow, this is what's happening to me. And something just told me that this is going to be the most important thing in my entire life. And I started to go in that direction. And I just, I think that's when I started to get involved with other experiencers and reading and just researching. And I think that learning from other people who've had these experiences was the complete life-changing event for me. I mean, it changed my entire life, knowing that I was not alone. So it was very, very hard to actually really come out, because I mean, even years and years on Facebook, I never mentioned this. I was afraid to mention this to anybody who might have known me, you know, in person. So, you know, that started to change. And really what happened is that we got introduced, me and Barbara got introduced to this when we started to write a chapter. Barbara, do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yes, I was part of the Dr. Edgar Mitchell Free Foundation. It's a foundation that examines and researches the interconnection between consciousness and UFO contact experiences. I was invited to join, and I had been working on the research committee for, I think, about 2 to 3 years. And research, it was a really large amount of research that was conducted. I think about 3,000 or 4,000 experiencers took part in the research. And what ended up happening is there were 3 co-founders, and they decided that they wanted to go ahead and write a book and talk about all these different subjects. And so I was asked to write a chapter, bringing in my near-death experience background, and to talk about how near-death experiences have commonalities with UFO contact and contactees. And then I was introduced to Lynn because she's basically an out-of-body experiencer times a million. And also she studied it just voraciously. She studied consciousness for years. So I was introduced to Lynn, and she came on board. And then I knew a near-death experiencer named Penny Wilson, and she's actually had 4 near-death experiences. She's had anaphylactic shock. She went into 4 times. And so she's had vast and deep experiences. So the 3 of us came together to write about near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and the commonalities between those and UFO contact. And we really meshed well. Lynn and I just, we hit it off right away. We share a lot of the same interests, and also a multitude of misbehaved cats. Anyway, we really spent a long time. We incorporated experiences and just researched. And we ended up with a pretty good sized chapter. And then we decided, you know what? We've had so many personal experiences that go way beyond and above just those 3, you know, commonalities. And we thought, you know, we really need to take this further. So we decided at that point we were going to write our own book and widen it and expand it to include more modalities, because I've had a lot of past life recall. So we wanted to include that. So we decided to go with near-death experience, out-of-body experience, keep the main thread, which was the UFO contact, keep that in there. And then, you know, utilize those 4 modalities and show how they were interconnected. And it was really interesting because we all live across the country. So we were connecting, you know, via Zoom, via telephone calls, you name it. And it took about, what, Lynn, 2 years, 2.5 years?
Yes.
To write the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And it finally came together, and it's out, and we hope you like it. Lynn, do you want to bring anything else up about that?
Yeah, it took like, by the time the book finally made it to publication was just about 3 years. So it was just the whole journey behind that was incredible. Learning what the editing process. Oh my gosh. I think Barbara probably read the book 1,000 times. Seriously, she's a great writer and editor herself. Very, very nitpicky, but yeah, it's just the whole process was a very amazing learning experience. And it's something that we hope to that you guys will be able to read, and we could share our stories. And another thing is that we have a website also, extraordinaryexperiences.org, where Barbara has written a whole lot of amazing blog articles. So we have lots and lots of information besides our book also at our website. And we'll put the link to that also with this video. And anyway,
Right.
let's see. Oh, I was going to tell a little bit about my background too. It's like both of us really have been in art and education. I have a degree in psychology and biology, and then I got my master's in biology. So I have a lot of science background too. And so I've worked a lot, probably about 20 years total in education. That's teaching from elementary through college, and then being a science teacher, biology teacher. I taught several years in just art, which I really love. And that's something that me and Barbara have a lot in common, is our love for art. And besides that, I've worked as a microbiologist in various fields too. So that's a little bit about me. Do you have anything else, Barbara? What was I going to say? My cat kind of ended up behind me.
I was just going to say, yes, our cats, my door's closed actually, so my cats would behave today. So, but I just want to say, yes, I started out as a corporate travel agent, and then I went into education. I've had, the probably 10 career changes in my life. And I'm sure Lynn feels the same way. We finally feel that we are doing what we were meant to do. We came into this world wired differently. We've had these experiences that show us that consciousness is eternal and is non-local in nature. And I have to say that through writing this book and knowing that this is the path I'm supposed to be on, I just want to tell everybody that if you can merge what you do with your soul and your passion, it's the most wonderful feeling in the whole world. I just can't even explain it. And I'm sure Lynn feels the same way. Yes. It's been an amazing journey to actually come back and remember why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do.
Yes, yes. This is an amazing experience, because I'm taking something that means more to me than anything. It's just, the study of consciousness, the study of non-human intelligence, all these things that have been mainly like a hobby or something that I've always interested in. Now I'm trying to verge that into, this is what my life is going to be about now. And it's very, very exciting to make this, more about what my life is about now than what it has been, as we've, gone through our education and jobs and new jobs and other jobs. Because just like Barbara, I feel like I have changed so many different careers. I think it's mainly because we are these type of people that are different, and we have not completely fit in very well with the norms of society. And, I think the universe has been kind of telling me that for a very long time. And so, this is about a new journey, taking a different route in life and doing something completely different and following what's in my heart. And same thing for Barbara.
Yeah, for both of us. For both of us. Yeah. And, I think one thing we've both learned is to conquer our fear of being authentic. And by that, because I'm a very authentic person, but what I mean is our authentic selves are, you know, the different, the unique, right?
Right.
The I could say unappreciated, or I can say something stronger, but it's owning who we really are. And we think that's really, really
Right.
important.
Yes,
And we're
to
very
be-
authentic
yes,
people, and,
yes,
you know, very casual, and we just,
yes.
so
I'm just,
please,
yeah,
feel free to check out our website. And
yes. We'll put all this information.
Lynn, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Oh, I was just saying, it's like, to me, I'm following who I am. This is who I am. I've been through life where I pretty much had to pretend to be normal and to put those things that we see in, you know, the way we view life is very different, and we're having to live almost like a lie, you know, as we try to fit into society and to be like, I'm not trying to say normal people, but because, you know, what is normal, but to, you know, to live true, to live as ourselves, and to not have to pretend to be something we're not. And that's our journey right now, is to do that.
Yes, yes, it is. So anyway, now that you've met us, and we'll be popping up a lot more and getting into our book. We have a lot of interesting information and a lot of personal stories.
Yes,
and anyway, it's been great to meet everybody.
it's great to meet you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay.